Go.
How many of you have ever found yourselves in a position where you wished you knew more about soccer? Great. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the game of soccer and about its history. And I have been playing soccer since I was like 3 and watching soccer forever. So we're going to start off by telling you a little bit about the history of soccer. Soccer's been around for more than 2,000 years, and it was played in all different countries. A lot of different countries had different styles of playing the game when they first started. And then eventually they created a more standardized version of the game so that everyone could play together. Different countries could play each other, and there were just basic rules that everyone could follow. And this started in about the 19th or 20th century when this standardized version started. And it was in England that it began. So here's some basic soccer rules. This is a picture of a possible formation you might have during the game. So the game is played 11v11. So most of the time this is a 4-4-2 formation. So you usually every team will have a goalie, and the goalie's job is just to not let anything get past them into the goal. And they're the only player on the team that can use their hands during the game. And then you have your defenders. So in this formation, you have 4 defenders. You would have your 2 center backs here and your outside backs. And their job, they're mostly staying on this half of the field. They might push up a little bit, but their main focus is just to stay back, play defense, don't let anyone get past them to get a shot on the goal. And then we have our midfielders here. And in this case, we have 2 outside midfielders and 2 center midfielders. One's more of an attacking midfielder and one's more defensive. And the midfielders are kind of the connection between the defenders and the offenders. And they're distributing the ball to the offense from the defense. They should be involved in pretty much every play. They're going up to help on offense and going back to help on defense. And then we have our strikers up top, and the striker's job is really just to score the goals. So they're receiving the ball from the midfield or the defense, and they're going and attacking the goal and trying to score. So there are some other rules in soccer. I know one rule that a lot of people get confused about is offsides. So if you guys want to come up, we can demonstrate the offsides rule in soccer. So if Liv is playing defense here, and the goal she's defending is behind her there, and Hannah comes up and she's playing offense with me, she's on my team. If she's standing here on this side of Liv, who's the last defender, she's good. I can pass her the ball, and it's great. But if Hannah were to move over here past Liv, who's the last defender, then she's offsides. So if I pass her the ball, the ref will blow the whistle, and the other team's gonna get a free kick, and we can't do anything. So don't want that. Great, that's offsides. So some other rules about the game, some fouls. You shouldn't extend your hand like this to push anyone. You want to keep your hands in at your side. You are allowed to push a little bit, but you have to be going for the ball, because if you're not, the ref's going to call you, and you might get a yellow card, which is just a warning. And if you get 2 yellow cards, or you do a really bad or intentional foul, you'll get a red card, and you're out of the game, and maybe even the next game, depending on the league you're playing in. And then, depending on the type of foul, or the location of the foul, you could get a direct or indirect kick for the other team. And direct means that you can score in the goal directly. No one else has to touch it before it goes in the goal. And indirect means that someone has to touch it before it goes in the goal. So next, I just have some examples up here about different soccer teams and leagues. There are so many different teams and leagues in every country, pretty much. There's some kind of soccer league. These are some of the more popular ones. And a lot of countries have their national teams that compete in the World Cup and the Olympics, and these are just some different leagues that are within different countries and just the more popular ones. So thanks for listening to my speech about soccer, and I hope you guys were able to learn something, and I just hope that you were able to learn a little bit more about the rules and the history. And here's my works cited.